Hey, baby girl. Little fat girl. You little fat girl? Yeah. You go in? Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Today is the 16th of July. It is Saturday, 2022. So, I wanted to talk to you guys today about raised beds. Right? You guys saw, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 raised beds here at the homestead. And so I wanted to kind of, we'll go look at this one over here because this one has the least foliage around it. So, raised beds. Kind of want to explain what I did, why I did it, how I did it, so that people understand the whole concept of concrete raised beds. I know a lot of people use wood and stuff like that. They're going to have to replace that within a certain time period. With a concrete cinder block raised bed, I'm never going to have to replace this. This thing should outlast me. Alright, it is 90 blocks per bed. So that is, so if you look on the end, you got the 2 on the end, there's 3 in the middle here, right? So then you have 4, and then there's, again, then there's the way that it is set up, there's 3, and then the 2 end ones here. So then you have, let's see, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's 12 down there. Again, so it'd be 12 on the bottom, and then in the center part you have less because you'll have 11 because you got the other 2 on the end going the other way. All right, so that's kind of how that works. Now with these, what I did is they were all just stacked on top of each other. Okay, so you got, like I said, it's 90 blocks, so it's 30 blocks all the way around for each level. Why 3 high? 3 high, while I'm standing here, puts me right here mid-thigh. I do not have to bend over. I can reach into the middle of this bed from any side that I am at. Okay, so that's why we did it this way. The 3 blocks high, because we wanted the height high enough to be able to, like I said, to be able to garden without bending over. I was always thinking of as I got older, okay? So these are capstones on the very top, which helps keep the weather out, but I'm going to show you what we did in here. So 90 blocks per bed, and actually you probably can't see it in this one, so we'll pull another one off as well. Maybe you'll be able to see it. No, you can't see it in there either. Okay. So anyway, what I did then, there is 37 pieces of rebar throughout the entire bed. So every other hole has rebar. So the end one here, I think I put 2 pieces into the end one here. And then there's a piece of rebar in this one. This hole's empty, that hole's empty. And if you continued on, I'll show you here. The next one. So there's a piece of rebar sticking up out of there, okay? So every other one has the rebar in it. And on these corners, so you got the one right there, and then what I did over here, right next to it, I got another piece. But there's rebar throughout in every one of those holes. A piece of rebar. In the corners, I put 2 in each of the corner shots. And then, like I said, there's a piece of rebar every other hole. Then I took Quickcrete. And the Quickcrete you can just pour in. You don't have to mix it ahead of time. It'll solidify up on its own. Okay, so every other one has the Quickcrete poured into it. It really solidifies it. These beds are not going anywhere. They're not going to shift. They're not going to move. The rebar is driven down into the ground. And so you're talking about rebar, 4 or 5 foot long piece of rebar driven right down into the earth, below the level, and then the concrete poured on top of all of that. Then for the bed itself, what we did was I took debris of wood, old stumps, all that type of stuff. I lined the entire bed with that. So what I did is I initially had 3/4 of this done. The end was open. I was bringing in the logs and stuff like that to put on the bottom of here. Got all of them in here. Then I finished up the end, got that in, and then when all this logs and sticks and debris were all in the bottom, then we put the dirt on top. Now, what that does is called horticulture, all right? So what that's doing is, as that wood on the bottom decomposes, it's adding all kinds of nutrients and all kinds of minerals into your soil. What you should still be doing every year. So what's going to happen when you're done with your first year, that whole garden thing is going to settle. So what you need to do is the next year you add more dirt, fresh dirt on top. And so what I had is composted cow manure, and that's the dirt we were using. So you put that on the top, and then that way it just works fantastic. In the fall, what you should be doing is when the leaves are falling off of the trees, you put a layer of leaves on the top of that and you cover it up, and then that way you have that rotting down. That's going to add to the nutrients of the soil as well. Soil is 90% of growing, folks. I'm going to tell you right now, when you are growing, 90% of it is all about your soil. But with the raised beds, it's going to drain well, because these drain very well, and it's dirt on the bottom. There's nothing on the bottom except for dirt, and so it works out really, really well. These raised beds with the concrete blocks, and then like I said, then at the end you do the capstones all along the top, and again, so that way no rain or anything is getting into those concrete blocks. It works fantastic. I absolutely love the raised beds, and you can garden, and if you're older, and none of us are getting any younger, it just makes gardening much more enjoyable. I'm not bending or squatting over all the time. I'm standing here, and standing here right now, I can lean up against this like I'm leaning up against that right there, and I can reach more than halfway into this bed. So anywhere I stand around this raised bed, I can reach in here, I can do whatever I need to do. So it really, really works out very, very well. I love the raised beds. We built them. We did a bunch the first year up through here, and my ex-brother-in-law helped me with those. These last 3 here I built myself, and I loved it too. Him and I did those together, and you can kind of see the workmanship that he had was not the best. As I worked on these ones here, I got more proficient, and it got a little bit better with it. I mean, it's not perfect, but it works, and you're trying to get everything level. I think these, like this last bed here, if you look at the sides, that came out really, really good. And the end of this one looks awesome. The end of this one looks really good. So I learned as I went along, to be honest with you. You get better at it. So by the time I got to this one, and I never forget, Becky was like, man, you got that last one. It looks freaking absolutely awesome. And I go, yeah, and that's the last one I want to ever have to do. Now, I will tell you this right now. I will do raised beds in West Virginia. That I will do down there as well. Have to clear out some spots, figure out where I'm going to... I got some ideas, but I definitely want to do raised beds down in West Virginia as well. I think it's an awesome concept. It works really, really well. And it just makes gardening so much better. Down there, obviously, I'm going to have to make sure that everything's going to be fenced in, especially with the deer. So, that's another aspect of it that's going to have to be worked on. But I kind of, like I said, I just wanted to do a video explaining the raised beds, the thought behind it, how it's done. You want to enrich your soil every year. That soil, again, is going to settle down. So you're going to need to use new What do you have there, Miss Heather?
I got some eggs. See a Miss Thicknecker in there.
Yeah, Miss Thickneck is in there. We had one already earlier. It's only 1 o'clock right now, so that's already 5 for the day. So that's a good start.
Yes, a fan gave us this.
Yes,
a while ago.
yeah, one of my subscribers sent this basket, guys.
And it is like the best thing ever. I mean, it's totally collapsible.
Right.
It's just perfect. They use it every day to get the eggs.
Yes, so they had actually asked. I remember they had asked, "You ever use that basket I sent?" Well, there's the basket. There's the basket being used. So.
Continue what you need to put in the beds. You were explaining that, and I cut you off.
No, you're fine. But anyway, new dirt's got to go in the beds every year because the dirt will settle. And again, you want to refreshen that up like that. So it's a good thing to do. It's awesome. It's a lot of work. I'll be honest with you. But what I want to do it. I want to do it one time, and I don't ever want to have to do it again. And that's why I like the concrete block raised beds, because these things are going to be here forever. They're not going anywhere. So I had people say, "Oh, well, when the shifting and the heaving of the ground." Hasn't done anything. We've had these for a few years now, and the ones up there were like 3 years ago. The rest of these got put in 2 years ago. So they're awesome. They work well. No issues with them. And love the raised beds. And like I said again, folks, it really makes gardening that much nicer. So I hope that helps. I hope that explains everything. And so there's that. Okay, so anyway, I am going to jump off of here for now. I'm going to take my great nephew for a motorcycle ride, and so him and I are going to go off and do that. And so I just wanted to explain the raised beds and the whys and the hows and how we built them and how it was done. And like I said, they're awesome. And like I said, I do plan on doing the same thing down in West Virginia. So that'll be a fun couple of trips to the store to get block. I'm not having them deliver. It would take too long, and it's too far out. And then I would still have to, if they drop them off at the main road, I'd still have to get them all back in anyway. So it's easier for me to go to the store, get a load of block in the bed, bring it back to the property, and just do it that way. So that's how I'll end up doing that. But so we'll get it done though. But anyway, guys, I am going to go ahead and jump off. Remember, we are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we can figure that one out, we're going to be in much, much better shape. Also, remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day how you feel. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important. Here's my boy, Mr. Max. Tell them every day how you feel. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. Last but not least, STD. Step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from reaching your goals is you. That's it, nobody else. If you stay positive and you stay away from the negativity, you're going to be just fine. All right? I hope everybody has a great day, and I will see you all on the next video. There will be another video going up later today at 7. So I hope you all have a great day. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.